Hello, my friend, and welcome back. Today, I would like to talk about taking time to connect. And this message came to me this morning in my meditation, and this is definitely one of the messages that is definitely directed right towards myself. And I just wanted to share it because I think that, if I'm needing this, I know that I'm not the only one that needs to take time to connect, take more time to connect. And the reason why this is so important right now is because I feel as though we are moving at a time, we are moving through times that it is imperative to be listening to our intuitions, because we are essentially breaking the mold right now. We are really breaking societal chains. And in order to do that, you have to be able to feel in your gut that when you are doing something going against the grain, that it is divinely inspired, that it is what your intuition is leading you to do. Because we are doing things differently, and we are here to do things differently, and we are here to be a way shower of how to do things differently, we need our intuition to guide us. Big time. Big time. And because, for a few reasons. Number one, because we are being guided to doing, some things that may not be normal. So that guidance of what to do needs to come from our intuition. But the other thing is I think that we need that reassurance of doing the right thing. And when you know something in your gut, even though it may be different, it might be out of the box, it might be against the grain, but if you've ever had that gut feeling, that strong gut feeling, and you've followed it, you have probably followed it with a lot more confidence than the idea of doing that without the backing of that gut feeling. And that reassurance is very, very important right now. And the way that we get more of that reassurance, and the way that we hear our intuition more strongly, is we need to be taking time to connect. And in these times, we need to be taking even more time to connect. And now this looks differently for everyone, and you should really do what you feel guided to do in the moment. Set the intention. If you have 20, 30 minutes, ask yourself, ask your inner self, how can I connect right now? How can I improve my connection with my intuition and with the divine right now? You may be guided to meditate, or maybe do some earthing where you put your feet on the earth. You may be guided to go for a hike into nature. You may be guided to do a workout, to move your body, to get some of that stagnant energy out. There are lots of different ways to connect, and like everything else, it is individual, and you have to ask. I just gave you a few ideas, but you need to ask your inner guidance of what you can be doing in that moment to connect better or more clearly. And I think that we will find that the guidance is there when we ask, and doing what we feel called to do to connect can have exponential results in our lives. And I'm just feeling how important it is for me and how much I want to. And but my ego, my thinking mind just said, but I don't have a lot of time for that. And that is true. However, I now I'm going to understand that that is my ego and my thinking mind, and I am then going to make time, because it is up to us to carve out the time for things that are important to us. And for me personally, connecting with my intuition and the divine is very important to me, and I need to start more acting that way. I am acting that way, but I need to take that next step. I need to be connecting more, connecting further, so I can really hear my intuition with a lot more ease and grace, because it doesn't have to be, hearing your intuition doesn't have to only come after you spend 30 minutes journaling, 30 minutes meditating, and doing all of this stuff. Sometimes it is just one simple act that will help, or a daily routine that will help you connect throughout your day. It doesn't exactly mean like, oh, I want to answer right now and I want to hear my intuition, so I'm going to go meditate. I mean, you can do that, but if you do that and you don't get an answer, don't be discouraged, because you may have went into that with some resistance of, I need an answer now. Remember, the divine is in its own timing, its own divine timing. So we can ask for things in certain times, but it doesn't mean we're going to get it, because the divine has that perfect divine timing and doesn't have that ego getting in the way of saying that it should be here sooner or later or whatever it is. So I want to encourage you to really get into that divine timing, to really get into that state of following your intuition naturally. Have it be something that you naturally do. And in the way to do that is to connect more, and not to connect with having a direct result. Connect with the idea that you know that you're connecting deeper, and you know that it's going to come out in every aspect of your life, in every moment of your life. So understand that when you do connecting practices, that it is not necessarily going to yield you an immediate result. A lot of times that result will come maybe when you're not expecting it, but it's going to come in perfect timing regardless. So taking time to connect is taking a small amount of time that is going to allow you a longer amount of time of connection, if that makes sense. So you connect, spend that time, 10, 15 extra minutes time connecting, so you are more connected throughout your day and when you're moving throughout your day. Because remember, even though it may seem like we're having big changes right now and it's a big time chaos, the actual change happens in the moment. Everything happens in the moment. So it might seem a lot smaller. You might be guided to do some things that feel kind of small, but don't negate that. Remember, even big or small, big or little, large or small, are all kind of judgments. Just because you may think that you're like, oh, I'm being intuitively guided to do this, but it just seems so trivial. It just seems so silly. Don't negate what something small to you, how much of an effect that can really have. Because remember, things are ripples. You might put an action out there that is a ripple. Say you feel guided to hold the door for someone that, they're a little further from the door than than the walk and hold back kind of thing, and it's going to cause you to stand there for a minute and hold that door for them. You might be like, wow, that's something so trivial, but that is something that you don't know the ripple that is going to cause. Maybe you are sparking a flicker of kindness in the person that you are holding the door for, and they are going to go and show the ultimate kindness to someone. You really don't know what kind of effect that is going to have. That is why we just need to trust. That's why we need to practice trusting our intuition and connecting to our intuition. So we know that it's our intuition and not our running mind that is just trying to make shit up for us to do. So that is why taking the time now to connect is so, so important. And I will be putting that in the forefront. We're filming this on Monday, so it's a perfect time for me to start the week this way. Let's start the week connecting even more and setting the intention of a practice to connect. Like, I'm just thinking about, like, wow, I have an hour drive ahead of me. Even though I do take that time to connect every morning, I drive to work in silence. I want to set the intention to have it be an even more connecting time. I'm going to ask that my drive to work today and every single day this week be extra time for me to connect with the divine and my intuition. So I want you to find, or I encourage you to find your way of connecting, of spending a little extra time connecting with the divine. And I encourage you to implement that into your life this week, next week, any week. I think would be wonderful. So I want to end the video here. Thank you so, so much for tuning in. My name is Anne, and I hope to see you next time.